Hello, Peter here. Welcome to my session on mini relaxer with a squeezy ball. So this technique can be used with reflexology or as part of an individual or group relaxation training. It's, if you like, a takeaway that could be done face to face or even taught online. So it's a rapid calming technique that could be used perhaps before a medical procedure or maybe ahead of a challenging situation such as public speaking or preparing a YouTube video. So it is actually one element of progressive muscle relaxation training, something that I researched for my PhD. It helps to downregulate the sort of fight or flight response. It helps to dissipate that adrenaline and noradrenaline and gets you tuned into comfortable breathing. So it can be very joyful, it could be a fun thing to do. So, for example, you can get squeezy balls that do all sorts of exciting things when you squeeze them. So let's just say a word about relaxation. So my colleague Anne Carter and I have written a few books in our time, and we're very keen on this relaxation quote that we worked on and incorporated in our text. So we see relaxation as a process of becoming calm, lowering anxiety, and reducing tension. And that obviously can include muscle tension. And when you engage in it, it can be accompanied by a period of peace and tranquility. You can use it, as I've said, to prepare for a challenging episode or maybe to create a break in a period of ongoing stress. For example, caring for somebody who's seriously ill. It can literally charge the batteries and be a resource to be called upon to help with self-soothing and promoting resilience. So, what about PMR itself? Well, as I've said, it's a technique that's used to help calm and relax. But the basic principle is muscle tightening or tension with the in-breath, and then a release of that tension with the out-breath. And actually, that's the most important part because quite often we carry tension all the time. So actually, it just reminds us to break that tension, ease it down, and let go of tension. So there's plenty of research and trials out there, including my own published PhD study. So it can be a very social event with more than one person involved, a group, as I say. And if it's a regular event within your institution, say if you work in a hospice setting or a care setting, it can be quite a magnet for bringing people in who are staff, carers, and patients. It can be a two-way process between the person who's teaching the technique and the person who's learning it. But there can be others involved who are maybe watching, family members, staff. And it's a technique that is used across the board by lots of health professionals. So this is a mini version, if you like, a shortened version that you can teach on the go in practice. So it usually involves a squeezy ball. You can use, say, as a rolled up piece of cloth or something, but actually having that little bit of resistance and pullback from squeezing and then letting it come back is quite important, to the process because you can feel that in your body. So it's a very tactile, kinesthetic experience. And literally, you can do it in less than 5 minutes. Could be homework. But as I say, use a squeezy object. Find one that works for you. We're very keen on stars, but I'll come back to that later. But having one that reforms is very, very useful and nice and soft in the hand. And of course, when we talk about breathing, I always use the phrase comfy breathing rather than deep breath. And you just role model a nice comfy breath. So let's just have a look at what the squeezy ball or star could do. So for example, when you've got it in your hands, you can squeeze at the top of the palm and release. you can also take it further down into the depths of the palm, if you like, and squeeze and release. And by altering slightly the position, you're working the lung area, classic reflex point, or you can be working the areas here along the diaphragm, and you can work the tummy area where all the digestive system is, and of course, very importantly, solar plexus point, and which is P8 for those who do acupressure. The star or the squeezy could be an attachment object. What I like about the star is it has these little points that you could perhaps, as you're doing maybe some relaxation or creative imagery combined with this technique, you can invite the person to think of a colour that feels really comfortable to breathe in, maybe a lyric of a song, or a comfy place to be in. So, for example, a garden, or maybe the presence of a loved one supporting you during a procedure or before a stressful event. So I quite like the colour yellow just because it's the colour of memory. Um, so let's take it for a test drive. So with your handy squeezy balls in your hand or stars, just sit back into your chair and I'm going to take you through just working the hands. Obviously in a full PMR, you work, say, from the toes all the way up to the top of the head, but we're just focused on the hands today. So get comfortable. And then when we're ready, we're going to take a comfortable breath in and squeeze the stars or maybe a soft object you happen to have around your home. So comfortable breath in, squeeze, and then as you breathe out, just let go of the tension in your hands and feel those stars or balls refilling the hand. You can move them around the hand if you want to, then find a comfortable place. And then we're going up the numbers. This is number 2. Breath in, tighten. And then as you breathe out, just notice the balls or star reforming, softening in your hands as your hands relax and soften. Rest for a moment and then take another comfortable breath in. This is for 3. Squeeze in. Hold the tension for a moment. And then release the tension, just noticing your shoulders softening, maybe drifting down a little bit, jaw feeling more relaxed, breathe normally in between, and then when you're ready to go again, take a nice comfortable breath, maybe adjusting the ball or star, breath in, tighten, feel that tension, and then as you breathe out, let the tension soften or melt. Notice it softening in your arms, your hands. And then again, when you're ready to go, we normally do about 5 or 6 of these. Breath in, tighten. And then release the breath, noticing the breath is elongated. Rest for a moment. And then in your own time, take another comfortable breath in as you squeeze, tighten, and release, letting go of the tension. If you're conducting a session or doing it for yourself, you would of course have your hands just resting on your laps and just allowing your body really to sink back in the chair or couch, and then just taking that breath in and tighten and then let it go, noticing the shoulders can drift down. Sometimes just exaggerating the movement, and then as you breathe out, letting go of the tension. So just notice where the tension is and then let it go. So a variation on this is to put a sniff in at the top of a breath in. This just allows a top up of the breath and it encourages a deeper exhale. So when we're ready to go, we'll just practice this a couple of times. So this is the Adam sniff. So when we're ready, breath in, tighten, hold for a moment, sniff, and then as you breathe out, just let that breath go. So we'll do one more of the sniff top up. Breath in, sniff, and then release the breath. So that's just the add-on sniff. Of course, if you're a reflexologist, acupressure person, then you might be pressing the solar plexus point on the feet while the person who you're treating is squeezing the star or the squeezy ball and taking their breath in. So it can be combined and integrated within a session. So thank you very much for your time today, and we'll catch up again soon.